Good night, everyone. Welcome to another fabulous edition of Just Reasoning Live. Real talk, real issues, real things. I'm Tex. I'm not Tex. We
Right.
have Tex. We have Special. We have Dub, and we have a special guest. She's on here. You might not see her, but she's here with us in spirit. Pick up yourself, just so she's both on mute
Good
and
night, good night, good night.
hiding her video. so you're not going to see her, but occasionally, if she wants to chime in or say something, you'll hear from her. But anyway, thank you for joining us, Miss Jessin. And I don't know if you've seen the show before, but we just talk casual conversation about real things. So here we go. So let's go. All right. So countdown begins. We have 6 days until election. November 3rd is let's say election day, but really millions of people have voted already. So it's not really election day. It's the end of election season, right? People have been voting for a long time.
What's the recent number of people that have voted already? Because I know it's already half what people voted last presidential election. So
yeah, I don't know the overall numbers. I saw something earlier. Brian sent something earlier that said right now at this point. Hi, Justin. Welcome. At this point, we have the amount of people who voted in Texas is almost equal to the total throughout 2016. So here we are 1 week before voting, and then we're pretty much close to the total of 2016. So with about 4 more days of early voting left, plus election day, we're going to blow the numbers out of the water. So
I know they were saying that at least Fort Bend, they had more voters now even before election day already. So that record is gone, and it's the most votes we ever had in at one election. Just Fort Bend. So I'm not sure about Houston, and I don't know about Richmond, but.
I mean, Richmond is in Fort Bend.
Richmond is in Fort Bend.
No.
Yeah. So I mean, I can speak anecdotally, even without looking at the numbers, just by looking around. And I give the example of my local polling place that I normally go and finish in 15 minutes at most on the busiest time. I'll go up there, and on the first day, hundreds of people in line. I had to go back the next day, end up taking me like 2.5 hours in total to vote. But so yeah, and just all the numbers I've seen everywhere else, people aren't complacent this time, which is a good thing. So let's see, Tex has on the vote shirt, and we have those shirts available. Again, not only vote, but make everybody know you voted. So if you're interested in getting one of these vote shirts, link up My Soul Rebel, go on facebook.com/MySoulRebel. Send an inbox to the My Soul Rebel user, and we'll sort that out. So
locally, it will be delivered within 24 hours. So if you do that, hey, and you get to take a picture with the celebrity.
24 hours only in Texas?
No, we can ship
locally. No, but
locally.
Internationally, we'll send it.
Yeah, but we have another guest, special invited. Everybody knows. So hey, who knows? We might have 20 people on here. Serena, welcome, Serena. I hope I'm saying your name correctly. But anyway, so yeah, everybody knows the importance of this election, and it seems that people are responding. I think in 2016, when you slice it all up, what it ultimately came down to is people are just complacent, right? You kind of used to things kind of working a certain way, and not going to matter anyway. So people just got complacent, and as a result, we've seen the consequences of election. We've seen that firsthand, So now something I heard today is that the as far as what election day, right? From back in Jamaica, around it's not really that way much anymore. But around election time, people used to get like really nervous. Election violence and all that. And none of us have ever thought of those thoughts since living in the U.S. Never. But now it's a legitimate threat. So the FBI put out a warning saying that there are a bunch of extremist groups, who they are watching because of, threats that they have made. Texas deployed their Texas governor, all of the National Guard, 1,000 National Guard troops that is going to deploy to the major cities around Texas. They say it's not about the election, but hey, just out of the blue, just going to deploy them in the middle of November. Think about that again. So what do y'all think as far as what are your predictions for November 3rd and November 4th? Will it be hell and powderhouse? Will it be calm? Much ado about nothing? And what happens after? What are your predictions for next Tuesday and Wednesday? Mr. Vote. Brother at the vote shirt.
All right. So I think with all this going on that we're not going to have an answer right away. But I think we're going to be far enough ahead to know who's going to win. Now, the problem I have is I don't think the current president is going to leave willingly.
Really?
So,
Are you kidding?
So I'm ready. I'm ready.
We hope.
These Pride Boys, run up if you want to. We're gonna get one of y'all effed up. Watch. No, seriously, but I don't think that transition is gonna go well.
It will.
And I think we all better be on our toes and P's and Q's during the week after, basically next week after Tuesday. If we don't have a definitive answer, everybody better be on their P's and Q's, because this man is trying to do everything he can in order to stay in office.
What?
And he's sending a message to his, I'm going to say affiliates, to basically cause anarchy if it doesn't go his way. So we all have to be ready and prepared.
Jacinth, I heard you chime in, or I don't know who that was. I think that was you, Jacinth.
Yeah.
Since I can't see her, I don't know who that is. This Mr. person. So, all right, go on.
What
So,
do you mean?
what are your predictions?
I showed my face for 2 seconds, remember? So I'm not.
Nah, that don't count. That don't count. All right.
Yeah, right.
So, next Tuesday and Wednesday, what happens?
I think Thursday will be the day of tribulation.
Tribulation. Jeez.
Okay.
You went biblical on us.
Huh?
You went biblical on us.
No, I'm
All right,
saying
go
they will, by the time you hit Wednesday, they'll still be counting. We won't have a final count. So I think Thursday will be the day when we'll know exactly who is the winner. Because Wednesday, by the time they get them in, late votes, the different time zones and all of that, I don't think we'll know by Wednesday. Maybe Thursday or Friday. Yeah.
So by the end of the week, you think we'll have a winner?
Well, we'll have a winner unless, there are going to be people be appealing and wanting recounts and all of that drama.
Oh, shit.
I honestly think it's going to run into the weekend, maybe even Monday.
Yeah.
Don't wish that on us, man. We need to know Tuesday night. By the time poll close,
here's the thing.
By 9 o'clock, we need to know.
Tuesday night will be far enough ahead to where we can say start packing. But
packing to go where? Where you going?
The hell up out the White House.
Exactly. to start packing, but
sale right away. Garage sale right away.
Everything must go. Yeah, all that tacky gold, everything.
But the thing is, I believe that's not going to be accepted. So they're going to be tactics
exactly.
in line throughout. Yeah.
Wait, it's especially.
legal maneuvers all around. Me see that happen. Trump is famous for that, right? I'm going to try to find any way, just like I'm delay in taxes, any way to stay in the White House. You might not even see election results until another 2 weeks afterwards.
Oh, gee,
Because,
come on,
you know,
special.
No, you can't.
Nobody knows someone. Come on.
Don't be like the typical. Don't be like the typical American who wants instant gratification. You're not going to find out.
Hey.
You're not going to find out on election night. I'm going to tell you that right now.
No, we know
and
that.
It might be another week. Right?
I'm not claiming that.
They have to count the mail-in votes. Definitely. That's going to take some time. Right? And if we have a recount, that is going to be work. Because I can see all these, it's just going to be nasty. The next couple of days going to be nasty all the way up to the election. And then, I think these people are expecting something. That's why we have so many military persons. They're expecting something. We shouldn't be expecting anything, but they're expecting something. Right?
Yeah,
and, maybe the governor have more information than we have. Who knows?
All the signs are there, and it's one thing to have these resistance groups pop up every now and then. It's quite another thing to have the president egging it on, and stand by, and just talking about how it's going to be rigged, it's going to be cheated, and he's been doing this for months and just amping people up, just throwing gas on the fire. There's fires all over the place, and then loading up his gas canister walking around. You know what I mean? So, I look, I don't plan on going anywhere at all. I don't go anywhere anyway, but especially Tuesday and when, I just, there's too much madness going on. So, one thing I would like to point out is if you are doing mail-in voting or absentee voting, it's too late for that. It's too late to mail it in. At this point, either vote on election day, or if you can still vote early, wherever you are, vote early. And if you do the absentee, go and drop it off in a ballot box. It's too late to trust the mail at this point.
Yeah,
so
that's
forget
the safest.
that ship has sailed. So my prediction is I won't say I'm out of the prediction business about who's going to win. But I believe by midnight next Tuesday, we will know who is going to be the next president. That is my prediction. Name it and claim it. In Jesus' name, amen. Touch and agree, everybody. Touch and agree. Yes. All right.
Yeah, like you can really disagree when you put it like that. Like
exactly. So just that's what I don't claim it up as long. Look, it can easily happen.
You can't believe he's gonna play the G card.
Of course. It did have to play every time. So, in Jesus' name. Oh, man. Yeah.
I'm going to disagree with that. Okay, all right.
You have to touch on disagree?
No. I ain't playing with that. Nah.
Yeah, so, well, like I said, 6 days. The time, this has been, for the 30 plus years I've lived in the United States, by far the longest 4 years that I've ever lived in. I mean, it seems like 40 years.
The people disagree with you, Chris.
I got the people out of sense. Okay, I'm joking.
Susan Davis, love the last name. I'm a cousin, Dr.
What's she talking
about? Popular vote will be known by Wednesday, but by the weekend, you're going to hear us say the Electoral College changed things.
Tell Susan Davis to just deal with Florida. Make sure Florida, if we get Florida, it's
too.
Done.
She said Florida won't done count until Friday. That's what she said.
All right. So Susan, we're counting on you, Friday. Susan. Get all your Florida people, and we need to bring home Florida. If we win Florida, it's done. Point blank period.
Jojo said.
Justin, talk about Florida.
I think
Jojo said.
How is it looking in Florida, Justin?
it looks great.
Justin
I
in
think
Florida.
Pennsylvania is the problem state because of the fracking story.
What the frack? You don't have to do that.
Yeah.
I think Florida will be fine in defining who will win, but I think Pennsylvania is going to be a problem swing state. That's my
Do you
opinion.
think Florida might be blue?
If Florida going to be that's the swingest of swing states. That can go either way.
I know,
So,
I
man,
know. but
Suzanne say Florida look good, so we're
I
good.
think so. All right,
Yeah.
Suzanne.
Good possibility.
Hey, I'm holding you to that, Dr. Sue. And if we don't win Florida, may I come for you. Anyway, yeah. So Florida, we're counting on you. And let's get these people out of there. Who are these people? That's something that, as we transition on to the next topic now. That's a line that Obama. So have you been watching Barack out on the campaign trail? I mean, he's just. It's like he's had all this.
He's on.
Pent up for 4 years.
Yeah,
And him just. Oh man, him just coming out, just letting loose. You know, so. So now, Trump's like an idiot son-in-law, Jared Kushner. So he did an interview, I think I was yesterday. And I'm not, the question is again about the whole Ice Cube thing, right? Ice Cube and big up Ice Cube and all this. So in answering the question that he was asked on Fox, because that's the only station I can go on. So I'll just have to read it. So this goes into text regular segment, booping at your head. This is our booping at your head candidate for this week, Mr. Kushner. And get this one by a long shot. So here's his quote, a couple quotes. After the George Floyd situation, you saw a lot of people who were just virtue signaling. They go on Instagram and cry, or they would put a slogan on their jersey or write something on a basketball court. And quite frankly, that was doing more to polarize the country than it was to bring people forward. That's the first nonsense statement. The next one thing we've seen in the Black community, which is mostly Democrat, is that President Trump's policies are the policies that can help people break out of the problems that they're complaining about. But he can't want them to be more successful than they want to be successful. So, I mean, look, so we all know how most of us here feel about Trump. As far as the one person in that administration that he just want to give one solid box, that is Mr. Jared Kushner. You talk about this.
Oh, God.
Just every, rich white boy you've ever dealt with who have just been given everything their whole life. And, so now when they see, so let's talk about him in particular. So like his story. So he got into Harvard because his father gave, $2.5 million to Harvard. So that's how he got there. His father went to prison for some scam because all these people are criminals for some scam. And so he took over his company once his father went to prison. Now he's married to the president's daughter and just gets a job as a White House, senior staffer with no background in any of this stuff at all. The FBI, once they did his background check, found all of these red flags and said he should not get a security clearance. But Trump overruled them and said, I give it to him anyway. So in those four examples I gave, you talk about just privilege, white wealth privilege. So you have somebody that coming and talking about basically Black people, you just need to want it more. You need to want to be more successful. Like I did, even though anything was handed to this fool. You know what I mean? So that's the background on Mr. Kushner. What are your thoughts? Booping at your head. Text, what do you say about Mr. Kushner? What are your thoughts about that statement?
First of all, how many Black friends does Kushner have? You understand? I'm talking about real black friends.
Cute.
He has no. He has no business speaking on black people. Period.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just my notion on it. It's just more of the same. I mean, he has the same mentality as his father-in-law, and he's taking that and running with it. I mean, he's getting his little 10 minutes of fame, and his father-in-law is just backing him and blowing him up, because I think in that same segment he basically said, "Oh, he's such a smart guy," and just y'all deal with him, and then we'll take it from there. What makes have you? So I mean, you could basically take what he says with a grain of salt, man. It bears no value to us in our community. I mean, you have no validation to speak on us. Period.
Yep. Mr. Jordan, what you say?
Well, let me tell you something. You see, when you don't have any experience with black people, the only thing you have left to fall on are stereotypes. And according to him, he thinks all black people are lazy and complainers and don't really have
just begging for a handout.
Yeah, and that is what he believes. And that is why I think he said that, because he really thinks that none of us have any ambitions. We don't really want to succeed. And we just want to just live and get everything free. Right? Yep. So, I mean, I don't think he would say that if he knew any better. But because of lack of experience, he can say that. So, I mean, I take people like that, just ignorant and not trying to find out exactly what is going on, and then just following the stereotypes and the hype of Fox News, and just repeating the rhetoric over and over again, because he's still saying the same thing.
Jared, say it to my face. See what happened to you. How about that?
Jared, there's a stereotype. See? That's the angry black man, Jared. Jackson, what you say?
Well, I think at this point, whether he has a personal opinion or not, he has to keep it squashed, because his strings are being pulled by his father-in-law. So he has to say whatever it is that he needs to.
I agree with that.
To look like he's supporting him, or else he's going to be kicked out of the family.
Right.
So he gets a position, easy peasy, because he's married to the daughter. So now he has to give 100% backative to the daddy, because otherwise you're not going to be in my little circle. And look what he does to people who go against what he likes.
You're fired.
Yeah. I mean, what struck me, so like me reading those words are one thing. What struck me is actually watching and seeing him say this, and how matter-of-factly he said it. And he didn't think this was going to be controversial at all. He was, basically like saying, water is wet, sky is blue, right? Exactly. So
white privilege.
No
idea.
And so basically, it's a mindset that is all throughout our society. All throughout, throughout government, all throughout business, all throughout educational institutions. It's this mindset that black people are where they are just because they don't want more. And so when you have that kind of racist mindset, you don't look at the systems in place that have caused this disenfranchisement in education, in housing, in business, and employment for centuries. And so when you have these systems in place, but your mindset is, well, they just don't want to be successful, then, you look at it like a charity case, or they're helpless. That's just how they are. You know what I mean? And so when you have this as the attitude coming from these people, so I don't know if there's probably no good answer to this question, but I'll throw it out there anyway. How do we advance beyond this kind of thinking that is so prevalent within systems of power within our country? How do we get beyond it? Because it's all over. So how do we elevate past that? Whoever wants to take it.
We have to free our minds. We can't even focus on the stereotype whatsoever, right? We just have to consider that we're gonna do what we need to do to improve, elevate, and get better as a nation. That's it. We have to come together. That is one thing. We definitely have to come together. And two, we can't be held in restraint by all the stereotypes, because sometimes that is what defeats us. The stereotype, thinking about what other people are thinking. White people don't do that. You think they do that? They do things without caring whatsoever what anybody else thinks. Right? And the same thing as white privilege. With white privilege, you don't have to consider anybody else. So why should we have to consider somebody else when we want to achieve? You do what you want, somebody going to hate you. That is one thing I've learned in this country. And let me give you an example. Me and my daughter was watching puppy videos on YouTube.
Puppy videos. All right. So where is this going now?
No, what I'm trying to say is, can you believe that people dislike those little puppy videos? Now, what did those little puppies do?
Okay. Oh, so you mean so the best thing in the world, somebody going to hate you. That's what you're saying.
Somebody's just going to hate you. So you cannot consider whatever you say.
Yeah.
You can't consider just do what you need to do. So,
I don't business about like or dislike. The issue is when these people are in power to make decisions that will affect your life. Whether they be heads of police departments, whether they be running your local bank, whether they are like this cancer is all throughout our society in all kinds of different ways. It's so like I said, I don't know that there really is an answer to it, but for one, we have to be aware of it, and we press on regardless, knowing that it exists. Work twice as hard because that's just what it is, and navigate around these systems, but they are in place. You know what I mean? Tex, you're saying something?
Yeah. So my answer to that is we can't let them get away with these statements. That is, it just reminds me of growing up, and it's just a telltale story. You growing up and you go to school and there's a bully. All right, and the bully messing with you, and you lower it, and he keeps on and keeps on until that day where you decide to, what?
One box in our face.
Box him out of mouth enough. And
I never touch you again.
That's what people remember. They forget about all the stuff before, or they don't know about it, but they react to your reaction. So that's the thing. When people say things like that, we cannot sit down and not say anything. We have to let them know. And besides letting them know, back it up with facts. You're making a generalization about Black people, okay? But fail to acknowledge significant Black people in this country as it is. Are they lazy? Or
they don't want it.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So you're just making a statement and dismissing all the greatness that our culture has to bring. So in these situations, we just cannot let that go, because that's what happens. Like, nobody says anything about it. You understand what I'm saying? Or nobody that is in a position to reach him says anything about it. Like I say, say it to my face, see what happens. And you can say angry Black man or whatever you want to. Yeah. I might back it up with facts. You know what I mean? So and make you change your mind. So and then it might get ugly.
So so and Obama was talking about that yesterday, and he's like, who are these people? He's like, what books are they reading? Who are they talking to? Exactly. Yeah, because it's again, he just said it so matter-of-factly. As far as the bully thing, Johnny from Southmead Elementary. Remember you run up on me that time because you think you could just run up on a little immigrant boy? Bet you won't do that again. All right.
Are you threatening
Johnny?
No, that's been dealt with. Johnny never run up on me again. Right. Sorry, Johnny. Sorry, Johnny.
Johnny, get booked.
Oh man. Anyway,
Well,
so hey,
here's
are you
what
saying
I
now?
no, here's what my opinion is. We just have to keep pushing and pressing and increase the awareness of people around us. Start small and hopefully it will create a ripple. Because when you look around you, we had a black president. Whether they like it or not, we had a black president. And right now, we're probably going towards having a black female vice president from an island. So, hello.
Speak it.
Even though we are not really breaking barriers as far as we'd want them to, and sometimes it seems as if we have taken one step forward, two steps back. It's like we got out of slavery, but are we really free? It's like physically, okay, we're not in chains, but there's so much suppression going on. And with this president we had for the past 4 years, it's like everything that was in place, we have gone way back, 10 years, 20 years maybe, with this whole racial thing. So we just have to keep fighting, keep working hard, and Black Lives Matter and all those other organizations support them so that they can get the message out, because that's the only way we can, get some of these people out of the holes they're living in, be more aware of what's really going on around them.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with all that. I mean, so like I said, I've lived here 30 plus years, and so when we talk about the complacency, you get to a point where, obviously we know that as black people, we know racism was going to change because a black man got elected president. But really, that act of a black man, that event of a black man getting elected president, it rose some things to the top that have been, hidden, where we really see what people really think about us in positions of power. That again, I've said it before. Without a black president, there would not be a Donald Trump presidency, because that made those racists really believe that they are really losing their country, even though they still run everything. You know what I mean? About, in all business, the billionaires or what have you, they still run everything. But to just see that symbol of a black man and his beautiful black wife and beautiful black daughters in that White House, that brought out something within them. You know what I mean? So, so I've learned a lot about where I live in the past 8 years, more than, in the past 12 years, more than I have in the previous, 20 years that I've lived here. Trump being elected, it really gave those who have those feelings just, to just get out and wave that racist flag and the things that we feel. And that's why every time I see, I don't know if you ever run into somebody flying a Trump flag on their truck. It's like the KKK flag hood, and
might as well
and thing to me. I mean, that's what it's like, because that's what it represents, and they know that's what it represents. We didn't get that way about George Bush. Yeah, we didn't support Bush, we didn't like Bush, but I didn't see somebody with a George Bush shirt on and think that person is probably evil. I mean, it's just like we don't think the same way. But this has brought out something that I've never seen so public. We know it has always existed, but it has just been out there like at no other point since I've been here. So, hey, I think I've learned a hell of a lot about where I live in the past 4 years in particular. So, we have to vote out them clots. That's the bottom line. Anyway, cloth. Vote out their cloth. All right, so yeah, man. So speaking of clots, now we got are you somebody saying something? All right, so
hold on, where's Serena there?
Serena has been here.
Serena, you gonna say
She's up on mute. She's up on mute the whole time.
Unmute your mic.
So she was probably talking the whole time.
No, I haven't been. I'm here though.
Okay, Serena. Feel free to jump in and tell especially he's wrong whenever you want. That's always welcome.
Me and Chris
yeah, man. Yeah, so Serena.
What was that?
What do you think so far?
about everything, about life. Now go
Well,
on.
I'm agreeing with what you're saying, and I'm just really hoping. I'm trying to not be too confident,
Oh, yeah.
because I don't think we should. I don't think anybody should be too confident. I think we're dealing with a whole different beast here. So we just need to ensure that everybody who can vote gets to the polls and vote and hope for the best. But
Exactly.
we don't, it has to be full speed ahead. It has to be gas on the pedal until the very end.
Exactly. You're right, Serena. I think last time it wasn't confidence, it was overconfidence. It was arrogance. Like, there's no way Trump going to win. There's no way. So if I vote, I vote. If I don't vote, I don't vote. I don't really like Hillary that much anyway. So I'm writing Bugs Bunny or Sizzler or Bujo or somebody on the ballot because it don't matter. You know what I mean?
They weren't ready for a woman.
Yeah, I mean, it's a whole lot of reasons.
It's really that.
Yeah, but he still won the popular vote, but it's just that our electoral college.
Popular vote don't matter, So it again. So I talk about like the learning, the things we've learned. Even though I said this, elections really do have consequences, every single one. So just think about this. Trump won by a total of like 10,000 votes in 3 states. That's what gave him the electoral college advantage, right? On states that Democrats were supposed to win, right? I thought they had won, right? And as a result of that, the amount of people who didn't vote in those states is ridiculous. But out of that one decision, 3 Supreme Court justices and over 200 lifetime appointments of federal judges is what Trump has done in these 4 years. So these are things, and those are things that aren't readily obvious. But when you see decisions getting appealed and going up and getting struck down by the Supreme Court, and no matter what you pass legally,
set it up that way.
It's set it up that way, and so you can. So now we're in a position where we can win the next 3 presidencies and what have you. But when you have these judges sitting in these positions, everything that you pass, they can strike down. You know what I mean? So these are some, like, I think I said 1/3, well, definitely 1/3 of the Supreme Court has been nominated by Trump. Yeah, right. And they're all young, like 40, 50, who would have been sitting on that court for 30 years. I hope we learned our lesson. I'll say that, and then work on fixing it going forward. Anyway, so next Tuesday, that's the big date. So things have to change. All right, now, so change of the. What you say? You're saying something? Vote and vote. Vote early and vote often. No, just joking. Vote once. Vote early and vote. Just make sure you vote.
That's what I say often.
All right. So, leaving these United States, I'm going back a yard for a little bit now. Hellshire Beach. Hellshire Beach Hell is the name of this segment. Hellshire Beach. And it's going to be... So I came across this article on the Guardian, out of the UK, talking about in Hellshire Beach, how the Hellshire Beach in Jamaica, for those who do not know, Portmore area, where the coastline is disappearing. So essentially, over the course of, it said 40 years, like 120 meters of shoreline has disappeared as a result of rising tides, climate change, mismanagement, and what have you. So they, we're talking. So I personally never been to Hellshire because I never really on that side of Jamaica. We go to other beaches, so I'm not really on that side. But I know of Hellshire, and so they're people who've been going there for for decades talk about how you used to go to the beach and you could actually be on the beach. People out there playing football, they're riding horses, and just chilling out on the beach. So gradually, the shoreline start disappearing. Or you have your restaurants there with the place, there's the seats on the beach, and people just sit out there and chill.
But 2 restaurants left.
Huh?
Two restaurants left.
Yeah, and so that's because so all of this is a result of climate change, where they are losing, from a business standpoint. You think about a business who made all this money from people who just chill on the beach all day long. They go on the beach and playing football, come in, get a drink, go back on the beach. But now if there's no beach to hang out on, that's going to destroy your business. You know what I mean? So Hellshire was the example. And so it goes back to a subject that we covered in at length about 6 weeks ago about climate change and how it is a difficult thing to get people to rally behind because it sounds so big and you don't see how it really affects you. But say you run out one of those restaurants, you know how it's affected you. Say you live in one of these, coastal communities, and you see the water slowly creeping up on you, you see how it's affected you. So like that example to me, it was like perfect to illustrate the impact of climate change. And so Hellshire is just the one example. But if you magnify this times thousands, this is happening all over the world. And so when they talk about climate change being an existential threat, think of the amount of people that's going to displace. So we're talking about really, from a business standpoint, in the Hellshire example. But think if you had a house right there, I know the water slowly creeping up on you, you're going to have to move. And so worldwide, there are millions of people who are being displaced as a result of this climate change. So that's the background there. So my question is, what do we do? At this point, and there's a picture that I had, and I'll show it later, where it shows Hellshire over the course of 30 years, and the same picture, the same. When y'all start talking, I'll look it up. But it showed where the shoreline was. They say horses ride, what have you, and people playing football.
Terrible.
Go on, Serena.
It's really terrible. I'm a Kingstonian, so I'm very, very familiar with Hellshire Beach, and Hellshire is a place that, even growing up as a kid, everybody went to Hellshire Beach. You just went to Hellshire Beach. And not only for the beach itself, but the fish and the festival, and you have vendors who have been there, like Miss Merle and Miss May, Miss May died, but you have some staple vendors that have been there from your eye there, your knee, And like you said, there was a time when Hellshire was a place you went not just to eat fish and festival, but you'd go and you'd hang out on the beach. You'd have the man who sells CD pass through. You'd have the man who sells pepper shrimps pass through. You'd have the man who's going to give you the massage on the beach. You have the ones who are going to sell the weed. You have the one who will sell Bangladesh.
The weed man gone? Oh. All right, go on.
Yeah, man. And then you're going to have the one who sell every single juice that makes under the sun. And it was just something that people did on a Sunday. Like I said, you could get massaged on the beach. You had the horses, they'd have the kids and you'd go on horse ride and whatever. I mean, I still go to Hellshire every time I go back to Jamaica. It's a must. But it's night and day. You literally will go to these places to eat, and it's like a cliff. There is no sand. There's a small dune of sand to the extreme left of it, which is closer to the Fort Clarence side. But there's nothing there. It's incredible.
Yeah, so
pollution in the water, the coral reefs have eroded, and I don't know why as a country we've allowed that to happen. because it's a landmark.
So let me share the screen real quick, and then we'll get back to the conversation. Let me see if y'all see it.
Well, one thing I can say while you
are y'all seeing this on my screen?
Yeah.
All right, so here's the top part.
Wow.
Hellshire back in the day, watch all the people hanging out on there, and then here's this. You know, I mean, the shoreline gone. You know.
Yeah. So let me address Miss Serena, because as a country, there's nothing much we can do except get involved in the activities that are going to preserve shorelines, which is a bigger agenda. One of the things that the current president did was withdraw the U.S. participation from the Paris Accord. And this is one of the things that actually would help our little small island. It's basically global warming. And one of the things that we have to focus on, which Biden is running on, is rejoining the Paris Accord. And that is slowly but surely reducing our reliance on gasoline and carbon fuels, and changing what we eventually use to windmills and things of that nature that won't be catastrophic to our atmosphere and lead to global warming. So it's much bigger than we think. I mean, you know, we can't say, okay, Jamaica should have done this, 10 years ago or 20 years ago or what may have you. It's global warming, that we have to address. It's just much bigger than, we're looking at, because when I read the article, I was like, oh my gosh. I mean, when you think of 10, 20 years, that's not a long time for that kind of erosion. So that tells me that the effect that we're having globally is major. And we have to think about this. In the Caribbean, they're islands, okay? So the more the seas rise, the more islands disappear. So that's really what we have to focus on. Whatever efforts we need to make to join and lead efforts to prevent or stop global warming, that's where we need to focus our energy.
Because global warming helping the sea to come back for Port Royal. That's how we see it. But this is why we need to vote, because we need to put the people in power that will actually affect change. Because this is the only thing we can do is force them to accept that, look, global warming is happening, we need to slow it down or even stop it. And the people we have in power right now will not accept that this is going on. So this is why, people, you have to vote, right? Our vote will count in that aspect, because we can put people in that will help us as a community, as a nation, as just the world. Everybody has to participate. We can't have like one country participate. Everybody has to do their part, right? And we have to vote the people in that will start this initiative to stop this potential global epidemic. It's bad. It's really bad. I went down there in 2017, and man, you basically, the restaurants are in the water right now. When I used to go there, we could sit and eat fish, and then we could walk a long time before we get into the ocean. Right now, we're sitting right there. Your foot is dangling on the bench, right in the water. And it's going to get worse.
Jacinth, what you say?
Well, putting somebody in power that can attempt to effect change is the first step, but we have to refer back to where the courts, Congress, everything is packed with people that will be blocking what you're trying to do. We saw that 8 years ago. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You have people who are not in your corner. Whatever you try to do, they're gonna be blocking it. So I don't know. It's a work in progress.
Yeah. So I mean, Tex, kind of hit the nail on the head there. In that article, just saying that, Jamaica as an island, and so this applies to all the Caribbean islands or all small islands, right? Where our impact on the greenhouse gases, and what have you that cause this climate change is minimal, right? As a country, Jamaica can only do so much. We can put in all these policies or what have you, but the effect is global. You have the large countries, the biggest polluters in the world, like America over there, China, India. These are the biggest polluters in the world who have a large impact on our climate. So when we look at the legacy of our Barack Obama, the Paris Climate Accord was a big deal, a very big deal, because it's with the understanding that this issue of climate change is affecting every single one of us, and it's really going to take the cooperation of all of us to reduce the impact that it's having. And who is the most vulnerable? It is our small little islands. So the U.S., so there's certain communities in the U.S. that are, they talk about, Miami being underwater in, a few decades. And so there are certain places that are more at risk than any others. Well, for that type of impact. But like everywhere is impacted, with the larger storms, hurricanes, and what have you. But and so the thing is to really try and make it connect with people. I believe when we talk about what can we do, a lot of it comes through education, and that, that's why this is something that we'll cover multiple times on the show, because a lot of us people don't know. Just like something I learned recently, which most people, many people probably already know. About we talk about the carbon dioxide, and that is heating up the atmosphere, which is melting glaciers and what have you. But just the simple, like trees, that's their food. They consume carbon dioxide. So one of the solutions to this is planting more trees and have them suck the carbon dioxide out of the air and put it down in the soil. That is a big, so things like that. Which seems relatively small, but if you do it on a massive scale, with millions or billions of people being aware of this, we can have an impact. So there's the larger things like the climate accord, but it's just more of us understanding our behavior and how we impact the climate and how we can better it in some kind of way. Because again, who's the most at risk is our small islands, where the infrastructure isn't that great, who are heavily dependent on tourism. What kind of tourists want to go and hang out at your beach if you don't have a beach? If it's just sea, that's going to have a major impact on our nations. So we'll do our part. We'll continue to educate people and engage in the discussions. But this is a very important issue, and we just have to make it real to people. Because it's one of those things that's hard to understand.
We're gonna ask Florida and Canada to plant more trees, please. Start tomorrow.
Yes. Florida and Canada.
What kind of trees?
Plant more trees. Anything.
Trees.
Just go around your backyard and plant a tree.
Ganja. Plant more ganja.
The problem in Florida is the housing. Everywhere you look, they're building new houses.
Yeah.
Brought down the house and plant tree.
So they're cutting down to make house.
That's true. Like building too much. You know what I mean?
Cutting down all these people in Florida. You all need to stay up north or wherever you're coming from. Let's stay here.
No. We don't want any part of Florida. No. Y'all can have Florida. Yeah, man. So,
Yes, sir.
an existential crisis. It is. It. It's not something that we talk about a lot. Again, because it's a little hard to grasp unless you are directly impacted. But we all are impacted in some kind of way. It's just we just need to make it connect with more people. Sports, track and field. So, those of you who have watched Just Reason for a while, after we do our Just Reasoning, we have our public Just Reasoning. Then we'll lock off the cameras and go and not live anymore. And then we have our private Just Reasoning. It's like a special, like after hours Just Reasoning, and it's not consumable by the public, so you can't watch that one. Well, we'll make sure I charge a subscription to come to the after reasoning. Anyway, so one of the things we're talking about the other day is in track and field, and as Jamaicans, so we're kind of just running the world and the men's and women's track and field for a while, and talking about when Bolt is somebody who come along once a generation. We're not seeing another Bolt for probably in our lifetimes, and so we're talking about like kind of who running things right now, and especially we're saying Christian Coleman, the Yankee youth, who is running things, and by run left everybody. So I was just flipping through a phone last night on just what's going on in the world, and I saw an article that said Christian Coleman banned for 2 years for doping violation. I'm like, what? So I thought maybe it was from a real reputable site. Like let me Google this to see who else talking about this. And sure enough, Christian Coleman, the reigning 100-meter champion, has been banned for 2 years. So he's going to miss the Tokyo Olympics. And and you take 2 years away from a track athlete. That's all they make the money from events or whatever. That's heavy. I mean, he's young, 24 years old, so he still have time to come back. But here's the thing. So I thought, okay, he got busted doping. That's what I thought.
No.
So doing a little bit more looking into it, it's basically he missed 3. They call whereabouts tests. 4 whereabouts tests, which is kind of sketchy. So but yeah. So I mean, he might be, but so basically, what that is you have a random drug test where you have to say where you are going to be, during these times, and they can randomly show up at any time and test you. So 4 times overall, he was nowhere to be found when it was time for that random test. 3 times in 2019. He never tested, for a doping violation. And every time having some kind of excuse, but still he hasn't been tested positive. So my question is, first of all, do you believe him? Because he's saying that basically, like in one instance, the last instance was happened in December, that they were in his community, and he said he had gone to Chipotle or something, and he said all they have to do was call me, I'll come right home, right? So one or two things didn't make too much sense about this story, but he still didn't test negative or positive for a substance. So, especially you're the big track man on here. You believe him? What do you say?
Tell you something, right? if you have a job and you have responsibilities for your job, and you know the requirements of your job, it's your responsibility to make it happen. Whatever they require of you, that is what you do. You can't tell the boss, look, I can't come in today, and you don't give a reason, right? And that is really what it boils down to. When they show up, you have to be available at all times. And I was even reading some of the stuff that Bolt was talking about. Every time he has to go somewhere, he has to give them notification, right? Because he's an adult. This guy's been running for years, since he was 16. So he knows the procedure, right?
Yeah.
So I say he should be held responsible. Now, I don't know if he should get 2 years, right? You don't know if he's positive, but I don't know if he should get 2 years. But, I was wondering why he wasn't running in Diamond League this year until I actually read the story, right? He's lost a lot of money, right? And yes, he's still young, but he's lost a lot of money. But he's been punished now. And if he has to sit out next Olympics, I think it's more than enough. But we don't know. We really don't know. And I'm a strong believer that if you test positive, you should be banned for life. That's what
Life. Jesus.
Because any medical professional that's in here will tell you that steroids change your body structure. Even if it changes in the slightest, you're gonna have an advantage, right? And that is not fair. It's not fair. I didn't think it was fair when Gatlin came back, but he came back and he started running clean. But he still had the advantage because he was doping for years, right? So I say, you dope, you know the rules, you should be banned for life. That's just me.
So you believe him or not?
No.
You believe he's doping or not? Let me say that.
Well, when he was.
Hey, this is just real talk. No dance around it. No skipping and hopping around it.
It's uncertain.
No. We're not in an uncertain.
Right?
No, but
Because I'm a fan. You're right. I'm a fan of him, and he was running good and testing negative when he was running good.
So your fanhood blind you. All right, got you. All right, your fanhood blind you. Justin, what you're saying?
No, what I was saying is,
Especially not keeping it real.
I've been warned more than once. When he missed the first one, they said, listen, you need to make sure you're available. He missed the second one. He has been warned, and he didn't take heed. So he must have something to hide. Why he keep hiding away from doing his drug test? So if it looks like a duck and quacks like a duck, it's a duck. He's doping.
3 times in 1 year is ridiculous.
Exactly. He's hiding something. Because why else would he try to avoid the test? He's hiding something.
Yeah.
If he was clean, he would show up even early for the appointment.
Yeah.
Come on.
It's not an appointment. It's a surprise.
What I'm saying,
the man was Christmas shopping. He had to get the Christmas presents.
The only clean athlete, and I don't know if he did anything, but we just never had any proof, was Bolt. But Bolt went to Germany more than once.
Man.
But he's the only one on record that's clean for the 100-meter guys over the past how many years? I'm not going to say anything else.
You know how hard they were trying to get Bolt?
It was.
Difficult. Next, what you say? You believe him?
Bolt said they would meet him at the airport. He told them he was leaving and they'd meet him at the airport. This is how crazy these guys are. So, you don't know when they're going to show up, but when they do, you have to get ready.
Exactly.
Right. And he didn't do it. But as I said, I've known him running for several years and he was clean. I can't say for a fact that he is positive, but who knows? He might be.
It's too convenient that he's always have excuses now.
Let me shed some light on the situation because I have some facts a little wrong. Okay, so he gives the time in which he's going to be available. He tells them, okay, on this day, I will be available from 7 to 8. So if y'all decide to come and test me, I'll be at home at this address. So he gives that time. So you're telling me what happened was the first 3 times he wasn't available and they actually called, okay? And he missed the appointment. So now he did test after the fact and he was clean, but then you have
somebody else is pissed.
Yeah. You have time to fix all that because it's a situation where they might show up or they might show up. So if you don't want to take too much of this substance because it might cause, invalid test results. So anyway, this 4th time now, they said, you know what? He's a fast fuck up. So we're not going to call him this time. We're just going to show up. You heard what I said.
Family soda. Family
Oh,
soda.
it's after 10. It's after 10. Yeah, cuss go on. It's
Yeah,
after
we're
10.
good.
You're
We're good. He's fast. He's fast and he's fucking up. I mean, that's just what it is. So the fourth time they say, you know what, we're not going to call. You gave us this time frame. We will show up, and it is what it is. Now I have to give him his credit. He is cunning, and he think he's slick, and he came up with all these receipts. You know, saying that I was here and I was there and I was here. And he was like 3 places within that time frame. He had his receipts to show and all that.
The time didn't match.
He didn't realize that he dealing with something like the feds. You understand what I'm saying? They doing their due diligence and doing their research and mapping out. And the conclusion was, there's no way you could have made it to all these 3 places and made it home and missed us and missed the test, basically. Because basically from 7 to about 8:15, he went to Chipotle,
Walmart.
went to Walmart to go.
Came
Christmas
home, watched the
shopping.
game, watch the kick.
Y'all know how long Walmart line is? Like, Walmart could have 200 people in there and 2 lines open. And you're like, man, what the?
They are self-checkout now. Come on.
No. But at this time at night, there's no self-checkout. You have to get checked out. At nighttime, you have to get checked out. And Walmart only got 2 lines anyway.
That's gotta be Texas. In Florida, we have self-checkout lines 24/7. Come on.
That must be in Florida, because here, I already know. I'm in for a wait. And during that time, the line might shut down. So the computers will go out and all that kind of business. The lights shut off and all that. But anyway, I've experienced all that. But they were there for actually over an hour, and he said he made it home to watch the beginning of a football game, which started at 8:15. Well, they were still there at 8:15, and that's where the shit hit the fan.
Yeah, how come they didn't see him?
He said, how were you at home for kickoff? And we were there. How could you miss us? You know what I'm saying? So that's where everything went awry. So
the wrong house, Justin.
He has more than one person. Gave them the other address, and he was at the other.
They were at Christian Collins' house. Not Coleman.
So he was at the other house. So anyway, all that to say, they have these criteria in place for a year, and he missed 4 in 1 year.
I know.
That can only amount to one thing, that he is doing something illegal. Because if he wasn't, he'd have been his ass where he said he was supposed to be and took the test. Plain and simple.
So no love for Christian? Yeah, so you believe my name Christian would lie?
I damn lie.
Is he Jamaican? Is he representing this?
Especially you're the biggest fan, so tell us.
What?
Christian telling the truth.
No, it's unfortunate that a very good athlete has to go down for stupidness. Right. It's like, come on. You did it once, you did it twice, you got away with it. Shape up. You know, it's your job.
I'm definitely suspicious. 3 times in. So my understanding, I don't know if this is 100%. I don't know if this is right. My understanding about the telling them where you're going to be thing is that, like, way in advance, you say, like, during these months, I'm going to be home, between 2 and 5. Yeah, so this is like July. You're telling us this in January. Generally, I'm going to make a point to be at home during this time. But bottom line is, he knew the time that he told them that I am going to be home.
Yeah.
Right. So one time I can understand. Yeah. One time I can understand. 3 times in a single year is crazy.
Two is like a wake-up call. You're like, you know what? Man, I done missed 2.
Yeah.
This third one, I'm going to be my ass where I'm supposed to be.
3 strikes, you're out.
4?
You take 4.
Yeah. So, the Yankees boy, them always a cheat. We know that.
I'm disappointed because I wanted to see him run.
Of course, because you're a fan.
Very good. I wanted a very good Olympic final, but it's not gonna happen.
Hey,
I've seen. Go ahead.
No, go on.
No, I saw you and training hard, so there's
Who,
there's
Blake?
few people. Yeah, there's few people afterwards, even though
Blake
run
kind of
left
missed
him
a shot.
they run left
Blake.
him couple time in a Diamond League still, but
So look here. I have a lot of American friends, and I looked forward to talking shit to them every Olympics, track and field championship. We're both gone. I cannot. I'm not talking as much nowadays.
We're talking about girls.
But hold
I
on.
can't talk about Elaine.
Talk about
man.
the girls.
Elaine still-
True.
Yeah,
Elaine still tearing up
the girls
top,
still
man.
running things. I can't talk about the girls,
Yeah.
but the men.
Yeah,
It's
they're
like,
disappointment.
Somebody got to step up. I mean, we don't need a Bolt, but geez, you can't get somebody at least got to be on the medal stand. We don't have a.
We don't have
bronze
anybody
up
really
there?
running. We don't really have anybody running sub 10, really and truly.
Why?
Right?
Why?
Yeah, we have
What happened?
nobody running
They
sub
have
10.
them, but they're just not consistent.
We
And
can't get them on our light bulb.
I've watched every Diamond League this year. I mean, I know it's COVID, and most of them spent their time at
Let's got
home,
that one.
right? But it doesn't look good.
But the girls are doing well in the Diamond
Oh,
League
yeah.
despite COVID.
Yeah.
Lane
Hey.
and Shelly did very well.
Shelly came back after having a baby,
And
Well,
when
that's
you see her
crazy.
abs,
Defended.
when you
that-
see her abs, you would
Oh,
never believe that.
I don't how women athletes do that. I have
She
no
worked
idea.
very hard. She worked
Oh,
very
that's beyond hard.
She worked hard.
That's
She
all.
cried
That's
many
all.
nights, It was very hard on her for that belly.
I mean, to come back is one thing, but to come back and be at the same level that you were before, that's big up yourself,
Lot of hard
Shelly.
work.
Yeah, man. So
You have professional male athletes that don't do that.
yeah, that
Girl,
girl. Hey,
Well, no, no,
y'all
so-
miss it. Y'all miss it when Tex said we don't have bolt. We not even have a light bulb.
No.
Not even a Peely Wally.
It's sad.
Nah.
We have whole heap of high school champions, so
So
maybe within
Look
the
here.
next.
I mean, with as big as champs as every year, we don't have one somebody who can come out of that to compete on that
see
level.
somebody.
Upcoming, we do.
Yeah. We might see a young youth come out. I mean, Olympic is still some time away now, so you just
Next
have to
year.
watch. Yeah, you just have to watch the trials and see what happens.
Hey,
Right. You might see a
I'm
good
not.
youth.
I'm not ready to be humble again around my American friends. I'm not ready for it.
Well, just
So.
talk about the girls and you'll be all right.
All right.
Looks up.
Since I dropped a new album a few weeks ago called A Million Times, 12 tracks, 42 minutes. I'll say my opinions on it. Tex,
Nah, I'm going
holding
last.
these opinions for a long time.
Nah, go on.
And so at the end of this, we're going to give it a grade. The A through F is what we can most relate to because it relates to school.
A through
you know,
F. No, light
Yeah. I mean, because, if you get an F, it's terrible. It's a C plus, it's average. It's A plus. Anyway, so but you can't give lighters or grade, whichever you prefer.
Stop conforming to the man.
No, but all right, go on with your lighters.
Nah, special. Go on.
Special, go on.
All right, me take it.
You listen to it, yeah,
Anyway,
Special.
I've heard it.
Finally, you do your homework.
Yeah, I heard it.
All right, thank you.
I wasn't
People at home,
very-
especially did his homework last week, so that's why we're doing it this week.
I heard it. I don't think it's a Grammy winner. I mean, out of 10, Sizzler has done and can do better work. I give it maximum 7. It's not. It's not a. Yeah.
7 out of what?
10.
Out of 100? Oh, you get so much star. All right. See, that's why I say it's confusing. Do the A
Let me
through
tell
F
you why.
scale. Do the A through F scale. What is it?
No. 5 lighters. 5 is
How much lighters?
All right. And then go down from there.
3.
5 being
lighters.
5 being till Shiloh.
No.
One
is
being.
nothing. It is
Let me not
nothing
listen
close
about
to
it.
Bojos. It's nothing close to
All right.
Bojos.
So how much you give it?
Three lighters.
Oh, okay.
Three
Damn.
lighters.
That's like a
Miguel
C.
can do better. Miguel
So
can
it's
do
like
better.
a C.
Yes, Miguel can do better. Most of the
Oh,
songs
man.
kind of sound similar. You know, the typical Sizzla album you hear, you will have some upbeat, strong upbeat. Then you might have one that have a lot of Jamaican culture in it, a lot of patois. But most of this is just like a soft samba, music.
So if him now pump up or pump up, you not listen to it.
That me not like that song there. Me like it, right? But you see, we want flair. We want flair in the album. You kind of keep it on one tone, and if you listen to the beats and the way the songs are even produced and performed, it kind of on the same level throughout the whole album, right?
Okay.
And I mean, I get the feeling that he's targeting an American audience because
What?
not much deep patois is in the song. Well, we know Sizzla we can do. If you listen to some, it's like a little love album because most said you must sing either.
So why are you hating on Love Special?
No.
What's so wrong with Love? And I love bringing that song.
No. I am also glad Father Ferrand doing thing tonight. Me glad, because we wasn't there. Right? So me now, anyway.
So you give 3 lighters.
3 lighters.
Woo! Okay.
3.
All right.
What
Mr.
is the now check?
Me? Why I can't go last?
No, go on.
Well,
Go on.
probably Justin hasn't heard the
No, I haven't
Justin
heard
has-
it, so no,
Yeah.
so I cannot
All
give
right.
up.
Yeah.
All right, I'm
Yeah.
gonna take the lead on. I'm gonna take the lead on this one and go on with it. So, I'm gonna preface this by saying, no one wants to hear a 44-year-old Sizzla sing love songs. I'm sorry. When you have heard songs like Just One of Those Days, Woman,
Rejoice.
I Need You, Solid as a Rock, I can go on. I'm not going to even go on. Black Woman and Child, I can go on. All these root songs. Now, you at 44-year-old, you fall in love and you want to sing love songs?
Yeah, you fell
Leave
in
that
love.
to- Okay, but he's 44. Leave that. Barris did that back in the day.
It's too late to love.
Nobody
You're too old to love.
wants to hear all of that. At this point, no, but nobody wants to hear about it. You can love all you want. We just don't want you singing about it. Period. The whole album is about love.
Yeah, it is.
Okay? Every single
Y'all some
solitary
haters.
song is a love song. And this is not how he built his foundation. This is not how he built his career. So at this point, to switch it up, and I'm sorry, I'm gonna give him half a light on this one because I expect more. Because to me, to me, when you're this iconic, you build on what you've done previously. So if I can listen to an album and I can at least hear one song that compares to any of your previous work, it's a flop. It's a flop. I can't hear one song on here that compares to Woman, I Need You or Solid as a Rock. You're supposed to grow as an artist. Okay?
It's a COVID album, man.
And at this point, what happens to these older artists in their career is people don't tell them, no, that's not going to work because they're so accomplished. So whatever they're feeling at the moment, they go, they put it on wax and they put it out. And we're supposed to love it. I'm here to say, guess what? Nah, we don't love that. You're too old for that. Come back. I need just another one of those days or something like that coming on. We don't want to hear that. I'm sorry. Go on, Chris, because I know you contradict.
Boy, it's hard to sit there and be quiet. All right. So before I get to the album, let me just ask y'all a question. and I heard this the other day. I had to look it up because I can't be right. How many albums do you think Sizzler has released in his career?
I think about.
I would say 10.
Especially your guess.
Yeah, I think it between 9 and 11, something like that. That I remember.
Miguel Collins has released 56 albums.
Really?
In his career.
I don't know about that.
Yeah.
Albums.
Official albums?
Yes.
There's no way I would have guessed that.
50. I wouldn't guess that either. I mean, yeah, the Rolling Stones haven't released 56 albums. But anyway,
Albums,
so
mixtapes. You sure?
no albums. The official
Not
56 albums.
Obviously, they didn't do well.
I didn't know that.
All right.
And I'm a fan.
So let me. Of course, I'm gonna come at that different. So here's what from your criticism, and this was your criticism text of this has been similar. Your criticism of Buju, meaning what he has done, you want him to continue to do. Like this is what you've done, and I want you to keep doing that. I think many.
This is what you've done, and I want you to build on that. Take it to next level. That's what I mean. Don't put words in my mouth.
People like their artists in a box. You do this type of music, and I want you to keep doing that type of music. So I believe Sizzler making this album say, you know what? I've done the Black Woman and Child, I've done the Roots thing, I've done the gangster thing, I've done the slackness thing, I've done all of that. But I'm at a stage in my life where I want to dedicate an entire album to love. So every single song on this album, I'm going to dedicate. I think I was obviously by design that I'm going to focus on love. What the world needs now is love, more love. So I'm going to all 12 songs of this album are going to be about love, and that's what he did. So my reaction when I first heard it was like, yeah, I want Solid as a Rock, Rise to the Occasion. I wanted some of that on there. Because Sizzler is, a very diverse artist. He can talk about all kinds of different subjects. He's a very intelligent person. He can do the gangster thing. He can do, the Rasta thing. He can do slackness. He can do all kind of music. He can sing. He can DJ. And so I didn't want to see that range of it. So from that standpoint, that was my first. You know what? I expected something like different. But so when I actually listened to the album and getting back to voting, so when the time when I went to go and vote, the place opened about 8 o'clock, and I went up there at 6:30, and it was a long line of people already. So I bring a lawn chair, I sit up there, and I listen to that album on repeat again and again and again the whole time. I was like, you know what? This is a very good album. I like all of these songs. Every single song on the album I like. Okay. There's one song, the Love for Money. I think it's like the third to last or second to last song on the album. That I didn't really. It sounded kind of popish, so I didn't really like that one that much. But all the other songs I like. So the only demerit I will give to it is the range of content. But I believe from his standpoint, he wanted to make a statement that I'm going to do an album that is 100% about love. And that's what he did. And I like it. So on the grading scale, I'm going to give this album an A-. Bullshit. 4 stars. 4 stars. Four lighters. 4 lighters. Yeah, I know. I listen to the album. I like it more than the Taurus Riley album.
Oh yeah, no, definitely.
What? I know. I like it more. I like the Taurus album. I tell you, it's because we want people want Sizzla to do what he's always done. But he decided I'm going to make an album, 12 songs. Every single one of them is going to. So I don't know which woman holds Sizzla, but somebody.
He decided that, but he was totally. Nobody wants to hear that shit. He was wrong. He's 44
I like
years old.
it.
What you
I like
the
it.
whole album to love for?
I like 11 of what.
I'm gonna tell you what this reminds me of. This reminds me of Keith Sweat.
Oh gosh!
Putting out an album and whining. Listen to it. It's hard to listen to. Promise you.
So not to me. Not to me.
His own style, and it's like he's whining the whole time.
No, but look here. That's when Sizzla sings. That's normally his style. You know
they're all sound the same.
That's what he does. When he's singing, that's what he does. No, you can't say you don't want to hear that.
Okay.
Well, we'll see from the sales.
Where people at?
We'll see from the sales.
So, I mean, no. Do I think it's going to be a Grammy winner? No, I don't. I think Butcher has that lock up.
You agree with me? You agree with me then?
I agree with that. It's not going to be a Grammy winner.
Up last week.
It's not going to be a Grammy. It's not going to be a Grammy winner. But I like 11 of the 12 songs on there, and I listen to that. I listen to the album all the time.
When the COVID dissipates and we get back out and we up in the club, doing our thing, you know what I'm saying?
He just drop another album, he just drop another album.
Hear one of those songs.
Watch.
Guarantee.
Okay, watch.
Guarantee.
That song, Phone Ring, you got to hear that all up in the club. You got to hear that all up in the club. So, I like it.
I'm not saying that
all
the songs are bad enough, Chris.
Listen to the album and give your opinion because you're not telling the truth.
I mean, it's opinion. So whatever people say is what they say. But I like the album. I give that album 4 out of 5 stars. Lighter. 4 lighter.
Half a lighter.
4 lighter.
I got Sizzla. Sizzla gonna make 57 because that wasn't it.
Yeah, we wait for 57.
Why y'all hitting on Black Love?
For me.
Hitting on Black Love.
That's the thing. You know what? Yeah. If I didn't give a damn, I would have just.
Y'all hating on Black Love?
No.
But
no.
Yeah, hey.
I love and respect Sizzla, one of my favorite artists. For me, this didn't do it. I'm sorry.
You want them in a box.
Justin, what are your most memorable songs that you can remember about Sizzla? Which ones do you like?
Just one of those days.
I don't want to comment on this, but based on you guys' opinion, this was how I felt when I listened to Buju new album too. It was like, what? This don't sound like Buju quality. It was like,
because you like them in the box. You want people like artists in the box. You want them in the box.
It has to do with
you want them in the box.
Taking things to another level. No.
Buju,
to them, that's their other level. It's not the level you want them to go, but that's their level.
Yeah, but I'm saying Buju, 10 years break. He should have come out with some stuff so to sweep us off our feet. I wasn't impressed.
Oh, Buju
need the money.
He got
but I like every single song on that Buju album. Every single one. Every single one. And it's
you like everything.
Ono can make all you want.
He likes
not everything. I told you Taurus Riley's album was okay. It's not a great album. It's an okay album.
Okay.
It's a great album.
But you still get 3. You still get 3 lighter, my youth. I will let that down.
Order. 3 to who?
Not Taurus.
Taurus.
Yeah. I 3 again.
I give Taurus a B+.
3.
I 3 again. Enough that.
So again, I like the album. It's not a bad album. It's just not. It's not Buju and it's not Sizzla.
Okay, so I want all of our viewers to listen to the album, and I want some reviews next week. I want your honest opinion. Forget what we have to say.
It's called Million Times. To me, that's my favorite track on the album.
Yeah, the track.
The title track, Million Times. The album bad. Who don't like it, don't like love.
No, the songs.
It should be not even one time.
The songs aren't bad. It's just that you don't.
It's not the sizzler you expected.
Thing. No, it's
not
not
the
that.
sizzler so there you go. That's what it is. Yeah, so you like the music, but you want the sizzler to do something different.
No, not
you want pump up to get pump up. That's what you want.
No, not only that. You don't want to hear one whole album of the same thing, right? I mean, in the past, you can have an album singing a lot of love songs, and you have one rude boy song.
No, watch it. Look. I personally wanted the range. I like the range because I like Sizzler's range as an artist. So I did one or two like a rude boy songs on there. Yeah, you know what I mean? That's what I wanted. You know, but hey, he wanted to do something different. So, but what he did, I think the work is good.
You know, would you do a song album similar to that? But on that input, good looking girl. You see, them the kind of things that I expect that from Sizzler.
So, all right. So you can still do love, but like, you know, a rude boy love song. Yeah, you know.
That means
but hey,
you can't have all that song for almost the same range. Just I go through the whole album, sir. No, I hear that.
Hey, my judgment here come for you. Watch how you talk.
Variety's the spice.
Anyway,
I live off Richmond Avenue if Judgment Yard come. I live off Richmond Avenue. Burn down every house.
All right, so we got you. Hey, so oh man, I need you. Yeah. So hey, hey, let's hear some opinions. And tell Tex why he's wrong. And ask him why he don't like love.
I'd love to hear it.
You know.
Yeah, we have to
why do you hate love? Anyway, all right. So anyway, let's wrap up and go out here.
I love love.
So we did a shirt. We did a love shirt. Like the vote one, but love. Because you need a little more love if you don't like that album.
Say no more.
Yes,
people
there we
know
go.
I love. The people know I love. I love the people and they love me.
Million times. Anyway, people. Hey, Justin.
Yes, sir.
You did it? All right. So now it's past your bedtime and all. But we're wrapping up now. So we'll do a little thing called Little More, where we're just giving a one sentence, or, you know, a brief thought to end the program. A thought you want to leave on people's mind. So speaking some words of wisdom or whatever. So, you first, since you decided to hide yourself the whole program. What you say, Justin?
We're born black, we will die black, but stay strong, keep the fight, go vote, and let's hope for a good future. 2021.
I like.
Yeah.
Born black, dead black.
Good job.
Good job. That's the shortest one we've ever had.
Yeah.
You said one
She's going to be long. Especially. What you say?
Yeah, man. Keep the fight going. You know, go vote and just keep positive. You know, we will be safe. People will threaten you, but do what needs to be done so we can make it through, you know, the next couple of months, right? Wear your mask and stay positive.
Stay, not COVID positive, but positive mind.
Yeah.
Jeez,
All right.
Stop paraphrasing me, man.
All right. Vote.
So just to reiterate the sentiments of everybody on the program tonight, hey, let's go vote. Your vote does count, no matter what they say. Let's not think about the polls right now and what they're saying in the polls. You go do your part, and we'll come out victorious. One thing I do want to bring up that we can discuss at a later date, there's always the GOAT discussion in sports. But I want people to think about the recent events that have transpired, and I don't see anybody talking about Magic Johnson. And this is what I mean. Magic Johnson was an NBA champion as a player. He is now a champion as an owner in the MLB and in the WNBA. We have to be talking about that, okay? He has to be discussed in the GOAT discussion. That's all I have to say about it.
Magic is I hate the Dodgers, so I can't really. big him up for that.
But forget that.
Yeah.
But his accomplishments.
No. Yeah. I have the utmost respect for Magic as a person. He's done way beyond basketball. He's doing some amazing things, and has been for a lot. Way before you owned the Dodgers, he has been doing some great things. So big up yourself, Magic. Keep doing big things. People, thank you for tuning in tonight. We have 6 days until the most important election of all of our lifetimes. This matters not just to us here in the United States, but throughout the whole world. It has a global impact. As Tech Shirt says, vote. And speaking of Tech Shirts, if you want one of these vote shirts, hit up the inbox, facebook.com/mysoulrebel, and send a message if you're interested in getting one of these vote shirts. And we'll sort that out.
Just DM us.
Yeah, man.
DM us.
So it's most important election. So in these crazy times, we have to remember the importance of love. So
This brother,
When
it comes down to it, that's what Sizzler was saying. Sizzler was saying the world going crazy. Madness all around, COVID, people are dead left and right all day long. But what we need to celebrate is love. And that is what that album celebrates. So when you listen to that album, view it through that lens. That love makes the world go around. So I love all of you. I love everybody who tuned in tonight. If you haven't voted, make sure you go and vote. If you have voted, encourage others to vote. We have a few days left. So get out there and, let's make things happen and start making this country a place that we can, that's not so freaking stressful
Hostile.
each and every day. You know what I mean? So we can look forward to hopeful times. So thank you everyone for tuning in. JustReasoning.com is where you'll find this and other episodes from our past every Wednesday at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. So when we meet next week, hopefully, we will have a President-elect Biden at that point. I'm claiming it, and who don't want to claim it, go on your bed. Facebook.com/mysoulrebel. Like the page, Just Reasoning, search up the Just Reasoning group on Facebook, and let's link, and we'll see you again next week. So until next week, bless upon yourself. One, love. That's the key word. Love. Don't listen to the haters. It's all about love. Peace.
Stay safe.
Oh, yeah. You calling me a hater on the slide?
Fresh Boys on the track. Danny E. B. Fresh boys on the track. Fresh boys on the track. Fresh boys on the track. Tie. Fresh boys on the track.